there was this nagging feeling throughout the time that I was in fashion arts design. I mean, part of me loved it. It was fun, it was interesting, it was engaging, and there was this nagging feeling like I was missing something, like I should be doing something. My first summer after my first year, I went to Europe, backpacking around with my sister. It was 1989, and that was a year that people were literally dropping like flies on the streets in many cities across Europe because of air pollution. So I was in Athens, and one of my dreams was to see the Acropolis. It was before the restoration. It was literally eroding with the acid from the air. We looked down on Athens, and it was just this yellow cloud. And I just thought, my God, this is not okay. We left Athens, and we thought, we're going to go hike somewhere beautiful. And we ended up in a forest in the Harz Mountains that is entirely dead and left standing as a testimony to acid rain and the impact of industrial society. And those two things had a massive impact on me. And I came back home, and it was like my eyes had opened to environmental issues in a serious way for the first time, and then I couldn't see anything else. For me, as a very young person getting into this work and being very outraged by what I was seeing, the protests, the rallies, the blockades, they felt right. You know, speaking truth to power, we're just going to stop this. We were called crazy. We were called eco-terrorists. You know, I remember this big headline, Greenpeace, will these people wreck BC? It took us a long time to create a really informed conversation to show that there were options. And then there was a moment where there was the Premier of British Columbia standing with First Nations chiefs and the logging industry and the environmental groups, announcing the permanent protection of the Great Bear Rainforest on British Columbia's west coast, and the creation of a new conservation financing initiative that would support local communities and First Nations so that they weren't forced to decide between poverty and clear-cut logging their territory, that they had other options. We cannot address climate change or ocean acidification or forest loss without also simultaneously addressing jobs and justice and treaty rights. Those are issues that are entirely connected because the solutions are about distributing power in every sense of the word. That's what democracy is about. That's how we'll create a cleaner, just, and livable societies. And it makes the issues more complex, but it also makes the solutions much richer. I was really lucky to be a part of the climate march last year. 400,000 people marched in the streets of New York, and that march was led by unions and frontline communities and indigenous people from around the world. It was a coming together of people from all walks of life. And the conversation there was about climate change, but it was also about jobs and justice, and I'm seeing that every day. And that's making us much stronger. We live at a moment in our history that requires us to act. And I want to be able to look at my grandchildren and tell them that I did everything I can. And I think most people do too.